What's poppin', y'all? One of the things that really took me for a spin the other day was the reaction and reply and how successful it was in generating positive engagement, not just negative engagement, was this lady that tweeted. I'm not even going to put up her tweet because I don't even want to put her page up here. I was going to say face up here, but I don't know what she looks like, and that's not even relevant to the conversation. So I didn't even want to put her page up here. But Cenat was invited to be like a guest, kind of like you have a clown. I'm not calling Cenat a clown, but you have a performer or something like that, or a guest, special guest, celebrity, whatever the case may be, for Northwest's birthday party. I believe Northwest is 11 now. She should have been born when Yeezus, that's how I remember. I think she was born in the year of Yeezus. So 2013, 11, and she's a big fan of Cenat. And this lady quoted and said, "This isn't weird to anybody else." And this is where cultural things start to emerge. And I don't mean subcultures within America. I mean just America as a culture in general. Because in other parts of the world, I'm not going to take a tangent. In other parts of the world, guys can be a little more close. So like sometimes like there'll be in certain parts of the world like dudes holding hands, but they're not gay at all. I remember seeing this in Malaysia, and I know for a fact these dudes were not gay. They were just like, it was just some old dudes. But in the US, you see that, you're like, okay, yeah, they're definitely on some of that, possibly Diddy. The thing is, it's because it's so prevalent in the culture in America, whereas in Malaysia, it's not really a thing. I'm pretty sure it's punishable by law. So for someone to do that, something that's punishable by law, it's not going to happen. The culture is completely different. Seems to be the case for this thing here. So in a culture where girls are encouraged to sexualize themselves as much as possible, as young as possible, that's probably why they look at it this way, because the relationship they have is nothing like that. Northwest has previously said Cenat is her favorite streamer. And I will go on and attack another point, which is the ones that are saying, oh, but it's so disrespectful that that they allowed Cenat to come when Yeezy or Kanye West doesn't mess with Cenat. What? Dog, Pete Davidson, who Ye had problems with, was not only smashing his ex-wife, but tattooed the names of her kids on there and was at their house. So what's quote unquote weirder? And the chicks didn't have no problem with that. So what's weirder? A guy that your daughter is a huge fan of, that's an entertainer, that has no problem with Kanye West, never disrespected Kanye West in any capacity, come in and saying hello for a birthday, or a guy that your daughter doesn't even really know, that's dating the mom, that gets a tattoo of her and is like meeting the kids and mingling with them and all that. You tell me what's weirder. Then to address that point even further, Kanye and Cenat are cool now. Cenat was on the phone with John Monopoly. He was like, yo, I just wanted a new pair of these clothes to test them out, and they fit, and Kai was happy. Everybody was happy about it. It's not like they had any type of personal issue. Now, if Kai was involved with Ye's ex-wife, I think that's a different story, but this was just a dispute about apparel. It didn't go that deep. And of course, like, it's Ye's business and all that, but they patched things up. So there's no issue in that front. Another thing is, what would be even crazier is if they had chicks at some young dude's birthday party, seeing all these cases that we see with teachers and students, which is wild. I feel like we get a case of these once a week now. But with Cenat, of course, this is, number one, this is constantly being supervised. You know the context of the situation. The only way he even spoke to her was via the mother. And I really respect the way Cenat handled this, because he didn't even try to give it an explanation or a justification, because it doesn't need one. That's how absurd the claim is. He was just like, yo, anybody that try to make that weird, you're weird. And I respect that, because some people will try to say, oh man, you know, but the time that we're in, you know, people are going to get upset about this, so you shouldn't even go near it. It's like, what are you talking about? There are certain scenarios that you should probably stay out of, but this is not one of them. Like, you have to push back eventually. Otherwise, people are just going to tyrannize and take over everything, and you're not going to be able to do anything. So what's going to be your breaking point where you say, nah, screw you. You're wrong. You're dumb. And you have a dark mind to even try and make something that's really wholesome into something weird. Not to mention, I don't think the chick that made this made any criticism of Cenat, which I would say is a bit more odd. Cenat having Lil RT, who's, well, I think he's younger than North. or same age or even, yeah, same age or younger, on his stream. Lil RT, who's clearly being pushed by his mom and whatever team to do this gang stuff, to do this. Well, I don't know if he's being pushed, but this guy's talking about shooting people, killing people. He's being twerked on. I'm not saying that chick necessarily approves of that, but that got way less backlash than the Kai situation. And Kai had that dude on his stream. And this kind of turns into me, I'm not saying criticizing Kai, because I like the dude, but I don't like what they're doing with Lil RT. And especially, who's that white boy that did the rap and had Lil RT featured? I think that was really gross. Personally, because I wouldn't say I like that dude, but he could rap, and I really like the way he marketed himself and pushed his music. I think he's a smart kid. But the fact that he puts Lil RT, I can never co-sign that. It's breeding somebody for degeneracy. I remember Baby's CEO. I remember that whole situation. Fredo Santana, this dude, CEO, Bud Gang, he was like 13 on Twitter, smoking weed and just like pointing guns at the camera. He got signed to Fredo's record label. Of course, he looked up to Fredo. Fredo ended up dying. And then this guy ended up dying before he was 20. He got killed, shot and killed, that Baby CEO guy. And the problem is when God forbid, Lil RT continues to be influenced and live out this lifestyle that they want him to live, demonstrated by the lyrics and the people that they have him around and the image they want him to portray. God forbid something poor happens to him, which may lead to him, God forbid, passing away, going to jail. Now it's suddenly, oh man, I can't believe they were doing this to him as a kid. But people are focused on Kai Cenat showing up to Northwest's birthday party. And people are trying to tie this to Tyga and Kylie Jenner. Okay, one instance of a celebrity relationship which had nothing. Keep in mind, her whole entire family knew about it and had no issue with it. Regardless, that doesn't justify it, but we're not saying like, yo, Tyga was trying to do something in secret to these people. He even made a song about it. That's the crazy part. The song was fire, though. I didn't know what he was talking about in the song. You know, sometimes certain artists, you turn your brain off to listen to. Tyga is one of them. Until like I was hearing the lyrics and I was like, whoa, wait, what did this guy just say? It's like my brain just turned on after it got activated after one of those lyrics. And that's when I realized exactly what was going on. This is a wholesome thing. People will come at her being around Ice Spice. Yeah, I would say Ice Spice is objectively a worse influence to Northwest than Kai Cenat would ever be. Because Northwest sees Kai, like what does Kai do? Dude jumps around, tells jokes. Yeah, sure, he cusses here and there. Like, it is what it is. The guy's relatively family friendly. He is not, I've never seen him promote violence, shooting, anything that could get you into prison, scamming, none of that. Never seen him promote it in any capacity. He had the little RT guy on his stream, but I think he tried to turn that into a more positive comedy thing. Whereas Ice Spice, what is she known for other than throwing it back on camera? And what's someone more likely going to mimic, a man or a woman? Yeah, they're going to mimic an older woman. I'm not saying Northwest is doing that, but that's someone who's more of a danger than Kai Cenat. Like, get the hell out of here. We're in a position now where too many people are allowed to give opinions. Like, you ever walk past a store or someone tries to talk to you and you don't know if they're homeless or not, and then they talk a little bit and you're like, oh, this is a homeless dude. He's just on some crazy rant. He might not even be asking you for something. Or you just realize someone may not be mentally all the way there and they're just rambling or yapping. That's what we have on the internet, but we don't have the filter for it. So everyone's giving opinions when we need to restrict the level of opinions. Am I saying we should restrict freedom of speech? Quite possibly. Or we should put a price tag on it. If you ain't got a blue check on Twitter, silence. Sit down. Be humble. I don't mean that seriously, but I do mean the point of too many people are giving opinions. I feel like a lot of you guys do understand when I'm being serious and when I'm not being serious, but sometimes we get a couple of people that can't pick up on it. And, you know, sometimes when I'm saying something that may seem insane, I gotta let people know, like, yo, I'm messing around. Yeah, these types of things, what upsets me is not that this person gives this opinion. No, I wouldn't say this upsets me at all. But the problem with it is not necessarily that the person gives the opinion. It's that the opinion gets so big that Kai Cenat or somebody in his position is forced to address it, even if it's to just dismiss it. Like, it shouldn't even be given any type of esteem whatsoever. It should just be ignored by everybody. But it makes its way up. And perhaps that's even more of a testament to the culture of the internet right now, that they're bringing this stuff up and considering it anything. Yeah, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.